Well, hello, and welcome to video log number 6. Um, so, what have I learned so far in this research process? Um, hmm, I've learned how to think about questions in a different way. I've learned how to pose questions differently in my mind so that I can thoroughly ask them or put them in a scientific reasoning. So, the research process so far, I guess, and what I've learned is just really placed me or allowed me to put myself in a position in which I'd like to think about research. So that's step one. It's also placed me in a position so far. I'm like thinking about like research questions, research topics, um, what exactly to focus on, what's important, what's not important, how to make theses, how to make your statements, your types of research, your methodology. Um, you know, I find it interesting so far, especially because I want to go to graduate school and that's full of research. So I find it interesting. I feel like research is an opportunity for you to answer the questions that you have about life in the field that you're interested in that nobody else has found. Um, and research is so exciting to me just because research is where we are today in the society. Every question that's ever been questioned, um, someone decided to do research and answer that question. And some of those questions are extremely important to humanity, and some of them are pointless. But without those questions and without those experiments, nobody would ever find out. And we might not be where we are today. So I definitely find research extremely exciting, and I feel like it's extremely important as far as our survival and as far as our progression forward in every aspect and facet of life. I don't really know what surprises me so far about research. I think I don't know if we've really delved that far into it to the point where I could be surprised about something just yet. I feel like I have a very decent grasp on what research is, but I'm assuming maybe the more as we really jump into this or get into things, I might actually understand a little bit more about what research actually is, or might find a few surprising traits about what I think research is, what's exciting about research. Um, as far as the topics, I've always been really excited in topics regarding race and ethnicity and socioeconomic status, and how those three, to me, coincide so well. How race and ethnicity, groupings of stereotypes, are related to socioeconomic status, and how that in relation um, relates to pretty much the success or the failing, I guess, of certain groups of people. And I just find that very interesting. I find it very fascinating to see how socioeconomic status affects minorities, how it affects majorities, to see how race and ethnicity affects minorities and majorities, and then to see the three combined, how race and ethnicity and socioeconomic status affects everyone. So I find that interesting. But as far as directly relating to PDF, as far as what topics I'm interested in, I'm really interested recently. I asked this question, Jen and I had a conversation after our dialogue on Monday, and I asked this question. I wonder, okay, well, background story. In my last vlog, I discussed a gentleman, I believe his name was Lester, who was a peer dialogue facilitator. Well, he was a dialogue facilitator in the Army for a number of years. And his presence in the room brought so much respect, and um, it just brought a lot of, okay, I'm going to listen to what he says because, I want to. He brought that, whatever that is, he brought it. Um, but all he did was just coach the students into speaking. He said, hey, I really encourage you to speak. I really encourage you to speak. If we all speak, we'll get a lot out of this. And it sounded like he was saying the same things that Jen and I say every dialogue, but he said it in such a deeper way. And I'm not sure if it was the fact that he gave personal testimonies, because we've given personal testimonies and sometimes it's worked and sometimes it hasn't, but whenever he coached the students into participating, their participation was so great that it was probably one of the best dialogues that we've ever had. And it's amazing to me how that was the case. So I'm interested in how and why students talk in certain dialogues and why they don't. Is it the subject? Is it the dialogue topic? Is it the fact that they don't want to be there? You know, is it the fact that they just need an encouragement factor? And I feel like it's a very easy, well, not necessarily easy, but I feel like it's a very reasonable research question or possibility. I feel like it's definitely attainable. You can definitely set up some tests to really see small surveys, things of that nature, really to get your answer. But that's what interests me the most as of now, I could say at least. Um, an interesting way of figuring out how to get students to participate more. So that's my most interesting topic I'm most interested in. So that's what I got. But I hope you enjoy it. Adios.